Steelers Nation, the team is always working to refine its roster and strategy, aiming for greatness and a return to Super Bowl glory. As we inch closer to Saturday's wild-card playoff against the Ravens, we're also looking ahead at what the offseason might bring if things don't go our way. Before we dive in, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support keeps this community thriving, and together we'll ride through the highs and lows of Steelers football. One name generating serious buzz in the Steelers community is none other than Devonte Adams, a superstar wide receiver currently with the New York Jets. According to reports, the Steelers were interested in Adams before he landed in New York, and now, with a turbulent season behind him, he might be back on the market. Adams is a proven playmaker. At 32 years old, he's not in his prime, but he remains a game-changing talent. With George Pickens solidifying his role as WR1, adding Adams as a complementary threat could elevate this offense to new heights. Steelers fans, can you imagine Pickens and Adams on the field together? What kind of nightmares would that give? Opposing defenses? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Let's address the elephant in the room. Adams' hefty contract. He's set to earn a base salary of $35.6 million in both 2025 and 2026. Any team acquiring him would likely need to rework that deal to make it cap-friendly. Fortunately, the Steelers have a history of navigating tricky contracts under GM Omar Khan's leadership. Khan has shown he's not afraid to make bold moves, and this could be another opportunity to showcase his negotiation skills. If the Jets decide to release Adams outright, Pittsburgh could potentially sign him without giving up draft capital. However, trading for Adams might not cost much either, given the Jets' urgency to clear cap space and their struggles this season. Steelers Nation, would you be willing to take on Adams' contract if it means strengthening our offense? Or do you think the cost outweighs the potential reward? Drop your thoughts. A major question mark in this scenario is at quarterback. Russell Wilson is set to become a free agent, and his playoff performance on Saturday could determine his future in Pittsburgh. If Wilson doesn't return, the Steelers will need to address the QB position, and quickly. There's also speculation that Adams could be reunited with his former QB Aaron Rodgers, should the Jets release Rodgers as well. The idea of Rodgers and Adams donning black and gold might seem far-fetched, but in the NFL, stranger things have happened. Steelers fans, would you welcome Rodgers and Adams to Pittsburgh as a package deal? Or would you prefer a younger QB to lead the team? Let's hear your opinions. The Steelers' roster-building strategy hasn't been without its hiccups. A prime example is the trade of Kevin Dotson, a talented guard who thrived after leaving Pittsburgh. Dotson earned All-Pro votes this season with the Rams, proving that he had the skills all along. Why did Dotson excel in Los Angeles but struggle in Pittsburgh? A big reason is the Steelers' tendency to play offensive linemen out of position. Dotson was a natural right guard but was forced to play on the left side during his time with the Steelers. This mismanagement, coupled with inconsistency in coaching, hindered his development. The Steelers have a chance to learn from these mistakes and ensure that players like Broderick Jones, another promising talent, are given the right opportunities to succeed. Steelers Nation, how can the team improve its player development, especially on the offensive line? Do you think adding a star like Adams would help mask some of these issues? Let us know. Adding a superstar like Devonte Adams isn't just about upgrading the offense. It's about sending a message. It's about showing Steelers Nation that the team is committed to competing at the highest level, year in and year out. Imagine an offense with Adams, Pickens, Najee Harris, if re-signed, and a dynamic QB leading the charge. Pair that with a defense anchored by Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, and Minkah Fitzpatrick, and you've got a recipe for a deep playoff run. But it all starts with decisions made in the coming weeks. Will the Steelers roll the dice on Adams? Will they double down on Russell Wilson or look elsewhere for a QB? And how will they continue to address the offensive line to ensure success in the trenches? The road to playoff success starts with having our best players healthy and ready to compete. This week, the Steelers got some great news. Cameron Hayward and Chris Boswell are good to go. Both players missed practice earlier in the week due to illness, but have been cleared and removed from the injury report. Having Hayward back on the defensive line is a game changer. His ability to disrupt opposing offenses and lead by example is crucial, especially against a Ravens team that thrives on physicality. As for Boswell, let's not underestimate the value of a reliable kicker in what's expected to be a hard-fought close game. On the flip side, there are still a few names on the injury list. Receiver Roman Wilson, hamstring. Linebacker Cole Holcomb, knee. And defensive lineman Logan Lee, calf, have been ruled out. While their absence is a blow, the return of key veterans like Hayward balances the scales. Steelers fans, how confident? Are you with the current lineup heading into this game? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This isn't just another playoff game. It's Steelers versus Ravens, one of the most intense rivalries in the NFL. Since Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh took the reins of their respective teams, their clashes have been defined by grit, defense, and a refusal to back down. This year, however, the two teams are heading into this matchup with contrasting momentum. The Steelers have stumbled into the playoffs, losing 4 straight, while the Ravens are red hot, riding a 4-game winning streak. Baltimore's defense has been particularly dominant, ranking first in the league in several key metrics over the past 2 months. Meanwhile, the Steelers' defense, once a top 5 unit, has struggled, falling to 20th in defensive EPA play over the last 8 weeks. Steelers Nation, do you think our defense can rediscover its early season form and shut down Baltimore's surging offense? Let's hear your take. The Ravens have turned their season around by shoring up their defensive secondary. Moving safety. Kyle Hamilton back to a traditional role has brought stability, and the addition of cornerback Tre'Davious White has paid off, even if he's not at his peak. Their defense has been lights out, allowing fewer explosive plays and forcing opponents into mistakes. For the Steelers, the key will be stopping Baltimore's potent rushing attack. In their Week 16 loss to the Ravens, Pittsburgh's defense struggled against heavy personnel and allowed several big runs. Derrick Henry and Justice Hill found success on the ground, exposing weaknesses in the Steelers' defensive front. The bright spot? The Steelers' pass rush, led by T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith, remains elite. If Pittsburgh can stop the run and force the Ravens into 3rd and long situations, the pass rush can take over. Steelers fans, how crucial do you think the pass rush will be in this game? Will Watt and Highsmith be the difference makers? The Steelers' offense has been a sore point in recent weeks, struggling to put up points. If the defense can keep the game close, the offense will need to step up. Najee Harris and the ground game must find a rhythm early to take pressure off quarterback Russell Wilson. Baltimore's defense will test Pittsburgh's offensive line, which has been inconsistent at best, protecting Wilson and giving him time. To connect with targets like George Pickens will be critical. Steelers Nation, do you think the offense can rise to the occasion? What changes would you like to see from the coaching staff to spark some life into this unit? This game is about more than advancing to the divisional round. It's about pride, rivalry, and breaking an 8-year postseason win drought. For Mike Tomlin, this is a chance to prove the Steelers can still win on the biggest stage. For the players, it's an opportunity to cement their legacy in the storied history of this franchise. Baltimore is hungry to overcome their own playoff struggles, but Pittsburgh's defense, now fully healthy, has the tools to spoil their plans. If the Steelers can execute on both sides of the ball, this could be the breakthrough moment we've been waiting for. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think the Steelers should pursue Devonte Adams? Why or why not? Who would you pair with Adams at quarterback if Wilson doesn't return? What's your top priority for the Steelers this offseason? Wide receiver, quarterback, or offensive line? Drop your answers in the comments, and let's get this conversation rolling. Your passion and insights are what make this community special. Steelers fans, thanks for sticking with us through this deep dive into the potential offseason moves. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your fellow fans. Let's keep the energy alive as we cheer on the black and gold in the playoffs and beyond. Here we go, Steelers.